Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Slight. Today we are going to be getting rid of the worst thing that is on the Rebel 2019 and under. That. The biggest problem that I had personally when I was looking at buying the Rebel was I did not like this big block, and it was almost like an afterthought of what they ended up doing back here. They did change it on the 2020 and above. That's one of the reasons why I ended up going with that 2020. The LED option, I have never seen anything that has a good quality rear light assembly. You can get a really cheap quality ones. They just don't seem to look like they're gonna last at all. So today we ended up working with Combustion Industries. I ended up contacting them. They contacted me back, and this video is working with them on the install part of the video. So Combustion Industries did send it to me. I did not have to pay for it. That being said, this is going to be an honest review. I have no loyalty to them, just so then everybody can understand whereabouts I sit. From what I gather, it is actually a pretty straightforward thing. There is a little bit of wiring, but everything comes with it. It's a pretty good setup. So anyways, we are going to show you the kit and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so this is the box they ended up coming in. It's pretty decent, very compact. They did say that they come with instructions, what wire colors and stuff like that. You can follow this video as well. I will be going through every little thing for that. Anyways, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so first of all, I like that. I like the fact that they have the instructions right here. You can use your phone. Actually, let's try that. And we're going to go down to Honda Rebel, and there you go. So I'm going to print it off. I do like the presentation to it. Instructions very key. So it is pretty small. So it has the light for the plate. It has your brakes and turn signals are going to be both in this. It has all your hardware for underneath. And then of course underneath is going to have all your wiring ties, and these are what we use as far as automotive for wiring. So basically how that works is inside here is going to be solder, and then these are your Teflon locks. So what you're going to do is you're going to heat up the sides, it's going to lock it in, and then you're going to heat the center out, and then that will solder the wires. It's sealed from the elements, and it does have the solder connection, which is really good. Those are pretty key. Like that's actually very good to see that they use these. Okay, so first things first, we are going to get rid of this section. Okay, there's two little 10 mils, and that's what's going to hold on to this. There's also going to be this fastener in the front, which is going to be an Allen key, and that is going to be attached to the bottom here. So you're going to have these three that you're going to be working on. This is obviously going to be your turn signals, right? And then this is going to be your brake and your running, okay? We're going to explain how to do all the wiring and stuff like that, but first things first, we have to take this off, okay? So to do that, we're going to have to take the seats off. Okay, so we can just have it held up like that. You can get enough of the wire back here, move it to the side, wire here, and then move it back. I'm just going to explain the wires first. And the two green ones are going to be your turn ground, right? So we're going to end up putting this together, and that is actually going to go to the black wire. So these two are going to be your signal wires, and then those ones are going to be going to yellow on each lamp. Okay, so that's your signals. The green wire, and then there's a yellow tracer here, so that's a green wire with a yellow tracer. So the green wire with the yellow tracer is the brake, and this one is actually the brake ground, but they're not using this. The brown wire is going to be your running lights. Okay, so I have actually moved the fender up and over a little bit, just so then you can actually see it a little bit better. I've put this light just there. It's loose, right? But I have it bolted just in there to kind of keep it in position. You have to run the wire a little bit down and then over. I've went with the left light. I've marked it with the green, That way I know exactly what one is which. So this is going to be the left, that'll be the right. You can use the length here to separate wire butt connectors. That way it's not all bunched together. This is the plate light. We'll talk a little bit further on that. We will wire this on afterwards. Very important, do not cut this little piece out. And I will explain that again further on. So let's get back onto this. I am going to trim back this rubber tube. I'm going to remove this. That way I can start with the harness and start building that. Let's trim this up, open up the wires a little bit. Okay, so basically that's going to be your left, that's going to be your right. So this, the blue, is the right-hand side. The orange is the left-hand side. Everything else is going to be together, or 2 wires on each one. So these 3 here, the black are going to go to the black, the red is going to go to the red, and then the white's going to go to the white. Let's start with the turn ground, which is going to be both of the black wires. So we are going to move this over. And again, the reason why I have this taped up here, it's not going to stay like that. It's just so then I know that the length of the wire is the same and I'm not going to have one wire bunched up over the other. So again, work together here, and we're going to just tie it together here. I'm going to move that like that. Twist them together. The green wires are going to go to the black. Now we're going to run this up here, and then we're going to just go over top of this. So right where this wire is, we're going to cut it on the other side. Okay, so together there. So you're going to twist the wires there. You're going to put this over top of it. So it's over top of this, so you're going to go further. That way, this is on the wire, that's on the wire, and then you know that that is where the joint connector is. So you're going to heat this, heat that, that's going to lock down, and then you're going to heat this, and that will solder it out. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with this. So we are going to do the exact same thing, red to red, white to white, and we're going to wire it up over there. So the red, these 2 red are going to go to this brown, okay, and these 2 white are going to go to the green and the with the yellow tracer. Now all we have to do is the signals. So again, I've marked the left-hand side. The left side is going to be the orange. So see how there's this one, we can go right in between the 2. So right about there. Right side is going to go to the blue. Okay, so that is all the harness. So again, ground for the brake, you're not using that, you're using the turn signals. It looks more complicated than it is. It's only 5 connectors, right? Very simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? It's push through so it's not a big bunched up wire, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, so we're gonna just test the lights out. We have not done the license plate light yet. I'll show you that afterwards, but let's test this out. So that's that on. Let's use the brakes. Now he does have a flasher on here, so it is gonna flash a little bit first, but that's that. Okay, so now that that is working, we can get going with the plate light. Okay, so this right here is the light driver. You do not want to cut this out, but it is a very, very, very long wire, right? So you can cut anything on the outside, like this side, you can cut that off up to about here, right? So you don't get the light driver. And then you can do the wiring and stuff on this side. And what you're going to end up putting it to is you're going to put it to the running light ground, or the turn ground. Okay, so that'll be this green wire here, right? So one of these two. The other one, you're going to use the running light, which would be the red wire. And the red wire turns into the brown wire. So to make things simple, we're gonna actually wire it over here. So I'm gonna tie it up so it's closer over here, and then I'm gonna run it over here, and I'm gonna do the wiring on this side of it. So that'll be cleaned up that way. I'm gonna tape all that up afterwards, but we're gonna end up putting it right about here. I'm gonna tape this section here, just to make the wires clean. So see how it's nice and thin still? It's not all bunched up. So a lot of people might say, why didn't you actually wire this wire into here? So brown, right? So the red wire, why didn't we put this red wire in with these three other wires? It's because the red locks are a certain size. You can't fit three wires in there with the actual solder connection. So we're going to do the exact same thing here, but we're going to wire two wires here and then wire this into the brown wire up here, right? And because these two, the green wire is actually connected, you could just cut here. Okay, so that's it. That's all the wires, all you have to do. That's the plate light. So the plate light is tied into the ground, the turn ground. The running light, it's tied in over here to the brown. All the wiring, if you followed through, you should see it. So then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna test the plate light, and then we are going to wrap this up and then put it together. So the reason why I didn't cut all of this off is I can use this as shielding, right? So plate light works perfect. So everything's good. I'm gonna put it all back together. It's gonna be a little boring, so whatever. So we're gonna just quickly change that. Okay, so we're gonna put this back together, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna run this over here, so then it's actually not in the way. So, okay, so that's there. This is just gonna go up in here, and then we're gonna button that up. We're gonna do the rest of this stuff first, and then we'll finish that up. So I took these off, so I'm going to just put them in. All they are push pins. They just go in. Okay, so then this is just going to go in like that. And we're going to finish these two bolts at the back, just like the original one. And we're going to tighten this side up. We're going to put the plate on. This plate is actually from Combustion Industries as well. So when you actually grab this light assembly, you can actually get the plate with or without it. They actually work quite well, and you get the plate light anyways. Once you take all this out, you have to have somewhere to put the plate. So if you're going to be using the plate here, it actually works quite well. The other side, like the other option they have is they have one for the side mount, goes up and down. So that'll go in like so, right? So there's that one, and then there's also this one. Okay, so let's just show it again. So lights are on, left signal, right signal, and the brakes. So hopefully that was helpful. I think that the instructions are actually very easy to work with. The lights work quite well, actually. They're very bright for such a small little LED. The option of putting your signals and the brakes all in the same housing, beautiful. Love the quality. It's actually very, very like formed. The fitment is like perfect. Like there's no like gap here or wherever. Wiring is very easy to deal with. I'm happy. I think this is actually fantastic. So I would say that that is probably the best setup that I've seen on these so far. Again, no loyalty with these guys, but they've worked quite well with me. Any questions or concerns I had with them, they've addressed them quite quickly. I'm happy. So yeah, so all the links and stuff like that to this will be in the description. All the stuff that I used, the link to their website. If anybody has any questions or concerns, put that in a comment, and I will try my best to actually get that addressed. Anyways, if you like this channel, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and until next time, guys,